let me just say for the record, this isn't like a response video or even necessarily a part 2 to my last one, but the context probably would help you out. If you haven't seen it, check this. Actually, check this. This is the one you should check out. That being said, yeah, I did a little skit last time, so I think it's only fair I give it the same treatment this time.
I'm back.
That's not happening.
Gotcha. No, I didn't re-pick it up. Why would I do that? It's still the same fucking game. Nothing has changed. I saw a lot of comments, and I personally like reading comments because you get a lot of different perspectives. You get the perspectives of, oh, I understand your reasoning. Well, this is what I thought of it. And then you also got the cry about it. Don't worry, I shed enough tears as it is. But I do need to address at least one comment. Yes, I recognize for the 1% of you that saw the Florida State blanket and thought to yourself, well, clearly you must be a Florida State fan, even though in the video I literally say, my team's Penn State. Ignore that. So this time I'm going to make it even more confusing for you. Which is it? Which is it? Which is it? But the topic that I actually want to discuss, kind of relates to last time, but it's not necessarily about the video game itself. It's actually about story. Yeah, that was my favorite word, and that was the one thing a lot of people picked up on. They were like, you want a story in a sports game? Yes. Let's actually divulge into what is a story really? That's right. I'm putting on my philosopher's cap, and I'm gonna teach you all a lesson. Now, is my point to persuade you? No, because that's fucking impossible. You're stubborn as a bitch. But just, here's another perspective. Open your fucking mind. So here's a little fun test. I'm going to show you 2 different sets of 2 random college logos, right? Here's set number 1. And here's set number 2. Odds are, you kind of felt something a little more seeing these 2 right here. Am I right? Well, why wouldn't you? It's a big rivalry. There's a lot of bad blood between them. You know you're in for a treat. However, if I showed you this versus this, you shouldn't feel the same, and I'll tell you why. So a big thing that like a lot of people said is, oh, you make the story yourself. It's these legacies unfolding, the Red River rivalry, the Georgia-Florida game, Michigan versus Ohio State. Yeah, that's great and all. I love seeing it when they're actually playing. It means jack fucking shit in a video game. So like, okay, you play these matchups that they're historic for a reason. So much bad blood. People just hate each other. The fans, the players. It's butting heads. So when they actually play in real life, you know you're in for a treat. In the game, it's fucking NPCs, it's the computer, and it's just a different skin. Oh, look, they changed the texture, so instead of wearing white, now they're wearing red, and we're just gonna put a little OU. Get it? It's Oklahoma now. There's nothing there. You can say, well, the feeling is what actually happens, and you get to recreate it in the game. No, you're not. You're just making that judgment for yourself. There's actually nothing in the game that's saying, this is important, other than the announcer going, oh, look at this. This is great in history, so you must love it in the game, even though nothing is at stake. You either win or you lose, and it's the exact same for any other fucking team, any other fucking matchup. It's all the same. So, what's it matter? Okay, well, I'll tell you. Thanks for asking. I'm a Jaguars/Saints/Chiefs/Giants/Bengals fuck the Eagles fan. So obviously, whenever you have the historic matchup of the Eagles and the Cowboys, I have stake in it. I have some stake in it. But if I were to simulate this on Madden, who cares? What does it matter? Let's say I play a friend and he's playing as the Eagles and I'm playing as the Cowboys. So what? The Eagles didn't win. He won. It doesn't mean anything. He could have chose any other team. It doesn't matter. It has nothing to do with an overarching plot or story. It's just, oh, in history, I don't like the team. Okay. Well, if my best friend gets drafted by the Eagles, I'm not gonna be like, traitor! So clearly, you get the point. There's a difference between the real-life matchup and the fictional matchup. But some people love to play the fictional matchup. And they look at me and they say, you're weird for wanting more. You're weird for accepting this. Like, it's the bare minimum. A lot of people are like, oh, okay, well, the whole point is for you to play with friends. So clearly you don't have any friends. My friends are not fucking sitting at home playing Madden 24/7. But it's subjective. If you like to play it, you like to play it. But don't shit on me for wanting a fucking story when that's a legitimate reason, okay? The other day, I picked up, because it's stupidly cheap, the Lego Star Wars Super Pack, whatever the fuck it's called, the new one. And it's interesting, because I am not Star Wars McGee. I've seen A New Hope, and I didn't like Phantom Menace, and that's about it. That being said, would I play the game if it was just level after level after level? No, I wouldn't, because I'd be like, why am I doing this? And you know what, that's actually a problem that I have whenever my girlfriend decides to come home while I'm recording. Look at this game. Everyone loves this game. I don't like it. And I'll tell you why. Because it assumes you've seen it. Now, obviously, why would you buy it if you haven't seen it? Well, because it's actually a fun game. This one's my favorite, personally, because I've seen all of them and I love Indiana Jones. So why would I like this more than this? Well, duh, because I like this franchise more than I like this. Kind of like how this, I'm like, it's okay. I know sort of a couple of the movies, but I'm not like jonesing for it. I've never even seen Jurassic World, so I'm never gonna play this. If you want to see something you know and love, then why do you not like Madden games? Because I love football. I hate playing Madden. That's just the gist of it. If I just like put you in a random world and I said, by the way, this is Tatooine or whatever fucking world in Star Wars, you could run around and be like, oh wow, I'm actually there. But it wouldn't take you long to be like, yeah, this kind of like isn't the same as the actual world that was brought together by Steven Spielberg and George Lucas. And that's why the new Star Wars movies suck. You know it, I know it. Hell, I haven't even seen it and I know it. But that's why you look at this and you feel more than when you look at this. And that's why it doesn't work. When I'm actually playing a game of Madden, sure, I'm simulating a fucking random matchup. It doesn't even matter who I pick. I could literally pick Packers versus Bears. History. Or I could pick Packers versus a fucking team that I created. And it would go exactly the same. It would play exactly the same. There's not going to be any more fights, any more animosity. If they win, they win. If they lose, they lose. It doesn't affect anything. It doesn't change. And that's the whole point that I've been trying to make. But you're stubborn! I told you! So what do I want about it, right? Obviously, I'm saying, oh, there's no story. What would the story be? I'll tell you exactly what the story would be. Madden 20 whatever, one of the fucking games, had this mode where you got drafted by a team, and the first year there were actual story elements, so it kind of mattered. Depending on how you did, the media would talk about you. You would go into, there would be cutscenes, you would go in for meetings and you would talk to players. And then after the first season, they would just be like, okay, you can keep playing, but nothing's gonna happen anymore. Why would I keep playing? To see my character that had life die all of a sudden? Wow! It's kind of like fishing, right? In a pond where there's only one fish. You catch it, and you're like, oh, that's great. And you catch it again, and you're like, okay, well, I already fucking caught it. Clearly, I know I make way too many examples, other than just saying exactly what my point is. So I'm going to say exactly what my point is, so it can't get interpreted any other way. I know. This is the most repetitive video ever. Thanks for making it this long. I love you. I want what I do to mean something. It's as simple as that. When I play a game, when I play a matchup, we'll just say it's college football. If I play week 1 and I lose, well, I want to feel the pressure going into week 2, other than just seeing a statistic saying, oh, your fans don't appreciate you as much. That doesn't mean anything. I want to actually see them not appreciate me as much. You know that cool little, like, meter that gets louder if you're at a home game? Yeah, what if I suck and so that meter's not as loud anymore, right? So then I'm actually feeling the consequences of sucking. At the same time, if I'm doing really well, then yeah, things are going great for me. So in that case, there's a little bit of like, oh, I'm more affecting it other than just seeing, hey, look, 1-0 turned into 2-0. Woo! This time, I'm going to end the video doing something different. Because like I said, this wasn't necessarily a sequel or a response to the first one. It's a separate issue. It is. It's just about, like, story in general. And so we're going to move away from football, and we're going to talk about something else. If I were to show you 2 games and say, which one would you play? Let's do an experiment. 1 and 2. I wonder which one you're going to pick. Probably this one, because I didn't even turn this one the right way. 1 or 2, which one are you going to pick? Probably this one. Why? Well, because it's the better game. They're both racing games, but this one is 100% better than this one in every way possible. Now, 1 and 2, right? Oh, you might say, well, it's obvious. It's gotta be Mario Kart. Well, that's because, bitch, you've never played Diddy Kong Racing. You see, Diddy Kong Racing, you don't play for the racing. I mean, well, sorta, I guess. You play it because it actually has a really fun story mode. It has a great campaign where you have to, like, go around the worlds and collect balloons, and it's better than it sounds. It's one of the reasons why these games differentiate themselves. Like, if I were to show you Final Fantasy and Dragon Quest, you would probably be like, what's the difference? But if you actually know the difference, oh boy. How dare you even ask me that? Xenoblade 1 and Xenoblade 2. Are you cool or weeaboo? Which is it? Now here's one for you. Madden 25, College Football 25. None of you are even gonna buy this. Like, let's be real. Because you already have this. This is essentially your Madden for the year. And that's the point that I'm making. It's all the same. There's no different story mode. No one's gonna go, oh, yeah, but the Jets! Now, if there was something to make me go, whoa, you're telling me that in Madden 25, even though I'm limited to only the professional teams, it's actually going to give me a more authentic professional experience? Whereas in this game, I get to maybe simulate a small portion of high school, go through a transfer, to college? Wow! Hell, I got one more for you. Look at these two, right? This is the newer one. This even has more characters. It even has more stages. But you're probably going to pick this one. No, not just because you can play it on the TV, but guess what? This has a campaign. This kind of has a funner vibe playing, right? Yeah, it's not as competitive, but... oh, tripping! Whoa! But the point is, it has a lot more personality than this one. Let's play Spot the Difference. Oh, look, it's a different guy.